Hello, good afternoon. It's Mel Bundock here, and welcome to Big Vision TV. Now, I don't think my guest needs any introduction, but I will introduce him anyway. Now, firstly, we need to apologise because we were meant to be doing this 24 hours ago. We were all ready, just like we are now. And for whatever reason, the technical gods in the universe had other plans and said, no, not today. So, John, speak. Can I hear you?
Melanie, testing
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
You. Well, I could not hear John at all yesterday. First of all, he couldn't even log in. Then I couldn't hear him. And then we thought, you know what, let's just leave this till tomorrow. So welcome to episode 8 of Big Vision TV. Every week, my intention is to bring to you somebody who inspires me, somebody who I've seen them do things that are helping them move towards their big vision. And perhaps, watch them overcome obstacles. And today's guest, John, I first met on Periscope. It must be nearly 3 years ago. And yeah, it would have been around 3 years ago. And so John has got, I'll let him tell a bit more about his business, a chocolate business, hence the name, just in case you're wondering who Chocolate Johnny is. Actually, you've come up as John Kapos. He's got a small chocolate business in Sydney, and he's used the power of live streaming to really make his business and himself a global brand. So, John, I've done enough talking. Let me hand over to you and introduce yourself how you normally introduce yourself. Go on, I'll hand it over to you.
Well, firstly, g'day, Mel, and g'day, everyone. And secondly, I want to apologise for yesterday. I don't know, the universe said, nah, Chocolate Johnny and Mel aren't doing it. But today it's all perfect. So we're going to have an amazing interview. Gosh, it is nearly 3 years that we've known each other on Periscope. And how do I do it? I don't know. I after doing over 3,000 scopes, and I would just nail it out like this. G'day everyone, this is Chocolate Johnny and we are live here. Well, I'm in Sydney, Australia. Mel's in London, and I'm a third generation chocolatier that was established back in 1939. I'm the CEO, so I'm the chocolate eating officer of Perfection Chocolates and Sweets. And through the power of live video and social media, I've become a global brand, and so is Chocolate Johnny. And something like that, I don't know, just comes off every time. So that's who I am, and I just want to say g'day.
G'day. And so John's core business is the chocolate business, and you've said you're a third generation chocolatier. What a great business to have. But so the live streams that I saw you do, you usually kind of on the beach, just kind of laughing away, and just being really nice. Everyone would say, "Oh God, what a nice guy this Chocolate Johnny is." He'd just be on the beach. And I love how you describe yourself as a virus of happiness. What's that all about?
I think my objective in life has always been to make people laugh. I think there's nothing more enjoyable and pleasurable than seeing someone laugh, as I say, piss themselves laughing. And I don't know, I just don't take myself too seriously when I'm scoping, and I don't know, Mel, I just loved people laughing. Even though I can't see them, I just knew that they were laughing. There's been so many things that I've broadcast about. I mean, one of my famous ones is "Where's Chocolate Johnny?" and I'm standing in front of the Opera House, and people were actually asking me, "Where are you?" And we could tell by their tone that it was like, "Where is he?" And man, it's called the Opera House. And I've had people message me back and after months and just say, "Oh, that was the funniest scope I've ever had." And then, of course, I love the trolls, and we just, get a bit of laughter. It's just, is the best medicine for everything.
I think what's been also great to see is how you've encouraged people to go live themselves because I think I started live streaming probably similar time to you, and it was 3 years ago. It was very new technology. It was kind of a bit of fun, but obviously for those of us who have a business, it was just this amazing new way to promote your business. Was that your intention? when you first pressed the broadcast button?
I get this question asked a lot. For me, I see myself as an early adopter for apps. I love social media. I love the computer. I love apps. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. I as soon as I see one, Chocolate Johnny's on there. I think I don't know. Something drew me to it. I was on Meerkat first, and I downloaded them both at the same time. I think around April. No, March the 25th, 26th. Tried to broadcast off Meerkat. That didn't work, and then I pushed the start broadcast button on Periscope. It worked straight away. I had, I think, 30 people on, and we started chatting, and I thought, I really like this. I can deliver a message. I can interact with people. I can engage with people. I can inform people. I can tell a story. I can listen to people. I can learn stuff. I can laugh. So this is really powerful. And so, 3,000, or like I said, and then meeting you and others and becoming friends with people. Mel, that's what people don't understand. That's why I want people to push the start broadcast button. Even if you're not on Periscope, my big vision has always to be an international speaker. And now I'm a global speaker when I push the start broadcast button. So thank you very much, Periscope. And that's why I tell people in small business, and not just small business, just entrepreneurs and digital CEOs, that you've got to push that button. You've got to give it a go, and don't be afraid to do it. It really is so powerful. And I think 9 times out of 10, you're never going to regret it. It just enhances your business and your life. So yeah, that's why I do it.
Yeah, and it's funny because yes, you do have your small bricks and mortar business. You have a store in Sydney. You have a factory. We've watched you make the products live, and I think so that's been a great use of it in terms of promoting your bricks and mortar business, that we've seen you creating. I remember showing my daughter, oh my gosh, look at this guy, look, he's making this caramel, and this was before I ever kind of properly connected with you, and my daughter used to love watching your Periscopes. It goes, oh look, it's Chocolate Johnny, and I remember you did the freckles with the hundreds and thousands on, and she'd be watching it just like, oh my gosh, I love this. So you can see how you'd use it to promote a product, the physical product, but you use it for way more than that, don't you?
Yeah, there's, oh gosh, the list goes on and on and on. You can, what I found is that, so many people were asking me to help them with the live streaming, and how can I use it for my business, and what can I do, and what should I do, and how should I do it? And I would say the first thing I said, and it's funny because, I've always wanted to come and, Big Vision TV has, I know that's been your big vision, and I've always wanted to come on here as well.
And it's only taken me 8 episodes to get you on.
That's fine. You've had some amazing people on before, so I'm like, yeah, I'll sit in the queue. And when she says, come on, I'm like, yes, I'm here. So, just going back to what you can do with it is so amazing. I've done behind the scenes. I interview staff. I interview customers. I show my products. I do Q&As. I do, oh my gosh, so much more that I just can't think off the top of my head. And it's funny because you and I were talking about this before. Oh, but Chocolate Johnny, you have a chocolate store, so you can do that. And I think that's totally wrong. Look at what you've done and achieved with, what you do, your EFT and Big Vision TV and your Create the Dream and stuff like that. I want to tell this story, and I hope you don't mind. When I first met Mel on Periscope, I do this thing called I'm Captain Chocolate Johnny of Perfection Airlines, and I do my radio voice like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chocolate Johnny, and we are live at Perfection Chocolate, blah, 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 blah. And they would go, oh my God, what a great voice. And because you couldn't see me, and Mel would say, you should do a meditation tape. And me, CD, I'll go, what, me? Meditation? Nah, I don't do that stuff. Woo-woo. Like, and then I'm all of a sudden, it's like, oh, she's watching me, and people are watching me, and people are talking about her. They're talking, oh yeah, why don't I'll watch Mel, and she's doing this EFT tapping. I'm like, huh? What's this EFT tapping? And I must admit, you got me doing it. So, if someone like you can show people around the world how to better themselves by showing them EFT, or me showing them how to do chocolate, or how a funeral director can make that part of a business, um, as happy as you can, or an accountant showing how to budget your money, or a baker showing how to make special bread. You've just got to push that button.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. A lot of people who have small businesses think, well, do you know what? I've got nothing to talk about. And our businesses couldn't really be any more different, really. And we've both managed to grow a global audience through using live streaming. And I know live streaming has come a long way since Periscope. Periscope's still going strong. Now, I don't use Periscope as often now, and I know you're still active on it, but still, again, not quite as much as before, which leads to a question. We do have a question here. Do you think that Periscope is still the best platform to broadcast on? Good question. That comes from Ren.
I know Ren. Hi, Ren. For Ren, I would start on Periscope, but you've got to be careful. Periscope has a lot of trolls, and so you need to build. You need to be pretty strong and thick-skinned, because those trolls can be quite mean and relentless. I think it's great practice, but what you can do
it's a great training ground. Oh my goodness, the best training ground.
But, I mean, you can practice, like you can invite. Yeah, you can. The great thing with Periscope is that you can broadcast to 5 or 10 people, or just one person, and practice with that. And I think, I think Ren could do it, showing how to cook. Some of these famous chefs are doing it all on Periscope, but then they shift over to Instagram Live and, of course, Facebook Live. But definitely, Ren, you need to do a lot more scoping, a lot more live streaming. You're a very talented.
I would say go where your audience is.
Yeah, but then the question is, what happens if you don't have an audience? There's people out there who...
Yeah, I guess there's two separate people there. Is there one, the people who want to grow an audience, but then the people who, like Ren, who already have an established audience. For her, I don't know, would you agree that she should go where her biggest audience is at the moment?
I would definitely go where her biggest audience is, but then also it's great to bring in a new bunch of people. So she could do a broadcast from home and doing some cooking, not really worrying about the comments, and just introducing herself, building a bit of a following, and saying, oh, by the way, this time next week we're going to be on Facebook Live. Join me on there. Here's my blah, blah, blah. You know how we always put up, join me here, blah, blah, blah. And then she can add another maybe 1 or 1,000 or 100 people.
Yeah, definitely. So back to your story and your vision. So I'd love to know, you mentioned about being an international speaker. How did live streaming enable that to happen for you? Because this is a whole separate business that has grown now, hasn't it?
And that's, you're right. I mean, I've been known as Chocolate Johnny for years. Because
this all started way before the Periscope days, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. I'm an overnight success in social media. Didn't you know that? I did my first YouTube 10 years ago. So that's an overnight success. I've done, thousands of live broadcasts. I've on Instagram. I've been on Twitter. On Snap. I was on Snapchat the first month it was released. People still can't believe it. It's nearly 5 years old. I was on Instagram in the first month. Twitter, I was a bit late to the party. Facebook was straight away. I was just trying to think what we were saying too, because there's so much. Oh yeah. Go on.
Yeah, about your big vision, about the whole new part of your business that's grown.
I've always, the first thing, my priority was Perfection Chocolates. Why not? It's my business. It's an income. And I love it. And I'm passionate about it. And through Perfection Chocolates has come me. Chocolate Johnny as an influencer, as a social media person, as a entrepreneur, and now, and I think we'll get to that, where I'm now classified as a digital CEO, a digital online entrepreneur, because I've built a course through Mel and I under the wings of a great man called James Wedmore, and so this has all come about from me just going live. I absolutely love it. And my dream and my vision many, many years ago was, as you can tell, I love the camera. I'm not afraid of it. But I put me on top of a step ladder, and I really there's no way. I'm scared of heights.
We can tap on that.
Okay, so we'll do a tapping on that after this. But put me in front of 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 people and get me on stage, put a mic in my hand. I absolutely love it. It's been a dream of mine, Mel. And, it's been a vision, a dream. I think I put posters up of me being on stage, not as a singer because I can't sing. And, I've done a bit of emceeing work. I love doing emceeing work. And I never forget, I was working with Sue B. Zimmerman, who does Instagram, and Kim Gast, who's well known in the social media world. And I've become friends with them. And it was about four, maybe 5 years ago. And we were just chatting, and I said, look, I want to be a speaker at Social Media Marketing World. And they're
Which is like the biggest event in the world, isn't it, for social media?
Yeah. Yeah, it's where you want to go. And then there's so many. There's a few others as well. And I said to them, I want to do it. That's what. And there a few people were looking at me going, you, Chocolate Johnny? We don't even know you. And I went, that was it. My vision. I just went, yes. And the years went on and on. I thought, oh, this is not happening. And up comes along Mel, who helps me. I think what happened with Mel is that you saw my big vision. We talked about it. You helped me align all the stars. Would you say that? Would you?
I think I helped you get clear on your vision, but not only that, it was just like, actually, so you've got your clear on your vision, but what's standing in your way? What limiting beliefs you're holding on to? What is preventing you from getting to where you want to be? I guess that's where my superpower is. I help people get clear on their vision. You're already clear on your vision, so you've done the work, but the tiny piece that I think I just helped you release was just what was preventing you. And it happened pretty quick, didn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. When we were chatting, I remember we had a chat and we were going through what you do with your clients and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then what was it? A few days later, a week later?
I think it was 3 weeks after the tapping session to clear the resistance to you being I couldn't believe it when you messaged me to tell me what.
I was like, Mel, guess what? Oh my God, I'm a speaker at Social Media Marketing World. I was like, wow, cool. So yeah, so what's the moral of the story is that everyone has a big vision. Everyone needs to dream big. Everyone needs to, take the fear out of it. Everyone needs to learn how to tap with Mel, and then just pursue it. And you've got to be relentless. I remember being relentless. And now the funny thing is that's opened up other doors. I got to speak in New Zealand. I've got to speak in Denver. I'm speaking here in Sydney more. People wanting me to be on stage. I've created an online course, and then, collaborating with you and 3 other amazing, women. It's really opened the doors for a totally different career that I never thought I had, but now I have, and more to come.
Okay, we'll come to that little collaboration thing in a minute. But before that, I just want to ask you, some a little bit of kind of any small business owners out there, and you know what, I think it doesn't mean you have to have a chocolate store or an EFT business. Anyone who has a business who wants to take it up a gear. I know we've talked about, and again, I'm saying this to a lot of my clients, that live streaming, the new ways of using social media, And there are so many ways to market yourself now. Whereas if you think 10 years ago in business, how would you market yourself? You'd put an ad in the Yellow Pages, you put leaflets through people's doors. The landscape has changed so dramatically that, you know, anyone can become a global brand. And let's not limit ourselves here. It's not a case of, you know, even for me, I've said many times that just, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, my client base was probably around 20-30 mile radius of my home here in Hertfordshire. But now I have less clients in the UK than I do internationally. And it's all because of live streaming. And so, yeah, what would you say to those people saying, yeah, but, you know, I can't do it?
Okay. So this is one thing, when I speak on stage or when I have a client, literally one of the first things I say, and I look at them in the eye and I say, push the start broadcast button. Full stop. Someone's going to watch you. Someone's going to listen.
But I've got nothing to say, Johnny.
I haven't finished, Mel. Hang
Sorry.
on.
I'm just overcoming objections here.
Yeah, the objections come after. This is the impact part. So push the start broadcast button. Someone's going to watch you. Someone's going to listen. We all start with 0 hearts, 0 followers, 0 likes. Everyone, I don't care who you are, we all started with 0. The most important thing is that you have a story and you need to tell it because we need to hear it. And you go, I don't have a story. I said, you do have a story. Within 5 minutes of talking to me, I can bring out any story I love watching the transformation when I sit down with people or a client or a company or a business, and they say, like exactly like you said, I don't have the story. No, I can't do it. And then I guide them and ask them and just talk to them. And you have to tell your story. And the analogy is tell, T-E-L-L. You tell the stories because, you know, you're teaching something, you're engaging, you're listening, you're learning, and then, of course, the end bit is laughing. And if you take that to tell your story, it is so powerful. And I've seen businesses who you think, no, and all of a sudden wow, I can't believe it. And, you know, I've got so many great examples of people really being successful. And success comes in different ways. It could mean a lot of money. It could mean a lot of people watching you. It could mean my business expanding. It just depends on how you want it. And as we go back to the famous word, it's what your vision is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen it open so many doors for you, just, you know, being featured on, was it morning TV in Australia recently, being a poster boy for Airbnb, you know, very random things, you know, being in, you've been featured on TV a few times, haven't you? But none of this would have come had it not been a result of your social media activities.
Yeah, I know, and that's the things that, like we said before, that's what opens the doors. You know, people come into the store, and I've had a journalist come in, and then Airbnb, we did a massive campaign where we had, I love this, people would ring me and say, my gosh, I'm looking at, what's his name? Harry and, oh my gosh, they just got married, your friends, your mate, Harry and Meghan.
My mates, Harry and Meghan, yes. Yeah, Harry and Meg. Yeah, Haz and Meg, yeah, my mates.
I thought you were going to that royal house or the Buckingham Palace to do some tapping there. It's like Melanie Bundyke, the tapping queen to the queen.
You never know. One day.
No, it's your big vision. Yeah, so you know, people are reading the paper, and there's Meghan and Harry, one page, and then the next page is Chocolate Johnny Airbnb. I'm like, this is crazy. It is just absolutely crazy. And then, you know, getting so many podcasts and being interviewed and just on TV. Yeah, it was fantastic. We did a live broadcast about the big Easter egg. I just want to go back to one thing before, Mel, because I know I'm backtracking a bit because you are saying about small business. And, you know, we're talking about live specifically, but people have got to realize that they've got so many other opportunities to get engagement and to be involved in their community. If you can't do live streaming, which is TV, if you can't do it, then try doing a video. If you can't do a video, write a blog. If you can't write, then use your voice. There's so many avenues to and of course there's so many apps. The perfect example is Anchor, or doing a podcast. Now your podcast is like the radio of when I was growing up. A blog is writing a book or reading a magazine, and of course video and live video is your TV of today. So if you're in small business, there are so many opportunities. Don't give up because Chocolate Johnny's saying go live stream. There's just, you have to do something. You have to do it.
Definitely. And it's not even if you have a business, sometimes and I've seen this with lots of periscopers, people have overcome problems, or they've lived through illness, they've survived, been a survivor of something terrible, and I think I'm a firm believer that sometimes we go through these experiences for a reason, that actually we can then go on to help others who are going through those, and we see people live streaming do that. But then weirdly, you can then eventually monetize that and turn that into a service that helps other people. So there are so many avenues, that opportunities for people to to utilize this new world of social media.
I mean, look at you. Let's take you as an example. Who would have thought, if I said to you 3 years ago, you'd push the start broadcast button, you'd have clients from around the world, not just in where are you, Hertfordshire or Hertfordshire, let alone you've become an international speaker as well, and so it's just so powerful. So powerful.
And I think anyone out there who's thinking, yeah, it's okay for them, but really, if we can do it, then anyone else can. And which leads us very nicely to that, you mentioned you've got a course to help people. And, I really just want to put you in front of as many people as possible to help others with their live streaming or business promotion journey. So can you tell us a little bit about this course and how that came about?
Yeah, so what happened is, while I was broadcasting, and I was never really thinking I'd be an online entrepreneur, but a lot of people kept on reaching out to me. Oh, can you help me? Can you help me? And I thought, doing a one-on-one and having them coming into my store was taking up a lot of time. And, if I met James Wedmore many years ago on Creative Live, and it's funny you mentioned him, and so I joined the Business by Design group, and I started realizing that I can build a course. I can help not just one person at a time. I can help thousands and thousands of people by building this course, or program as I call it, and putting it out there. And I monetize. These people take it and go, oh wow, I've just been taught by, and I hate, what I'm like, Mel, I just don't like doing this, but oh my gosh, it's Chocolate Johnny and he's teaching me how to do live streaming, and wow, he had 100,000 people watching him and he's done this, and I just do it because I want that one person to turn around and say, hey, guess what? My business has changed. My life has changed. I'm happier. I'm wealthier. I'm healthier. That's all I want. I want, if I sold 1 million of them, and out of that million, one person changed their lives, it's worth it for me. So I
think you're going to be helping a lot more people than that, and you helped so many people. You've certainly helped me in the early days, just to kind of, right, I think I was watching you before I actually went live myself, and it's like, okay, fine, I'm just going to do it, and yeah. So tell us where we can find out. But actually, no, Lisa has just posted a link here. So it's chocolatejohnny.com/live-streaming. Right, let me just post the link. There we go. It's too long there. So Lisa, that's very kind of you. So take a screenshot, or click on the link, and it will take you straight to the course where you can find out more about how Johnny can help you.
At the moment,
it's blocking your face.
at the moment, it is. We're in beta stage, and
what does that mean?
So we're just starting to build it. What I'm doing is I'm getting them an array of people in different workspace. I don't care what you do. If you just need to learn how to live stream for your business, I want you to come along and we sit down and we build the course together. And you become that founding member. And then once I finish and make the most amazing course, you get it for free. You become part of the Facebook group. And yeah, it's just an amazing journey for me to help and create this. I know what I've got. I've got, the 6 to 10 modules, but I just know there's people out there who can help me. Like now I'm helping a guy in New Zealand, Jamie, who sells curtains, and watching his transition from being, a small business owner to now really mastering and becoming a live streamer. It's just such a pleasure. Absolutely an absolute pleasure. So yeah, come along, join the ride.
Yeah, you've helped dog walkers, funeral directors, dentists. It really is across the board, isn't it? Any business anyone can do it. Okay. And so you mentioned a little collaboration that we've got going on, which is, one of the C's. Was that one of your C's? Community collaboration?
Yeah, community collaboration. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen that with so many people, again, who we've met through James Medmore, people who I've had on this show. It's all about collaboration, partnerships, working together. Now, Johnny, do you want to explain
because there's enough? There is enough for everyone, correct, Mel?
Yes, exactly.
There's enough. There's enough for everyone.
Explain a little bit more about this collaboration project we have.
Okay, so
concocted.
We've concocted the most amazing team called the Abundance Team, and we're here to help you launch you or your business or your product or your whatever you want to the stratosphere in a massive abundance rocket. There's me, there's Mel, we have Inga, we have Lisa Nichols, and we have Helene, who each person, the great thing about this is each person has their own specialty. And what are we doing? Aren't we doing a live on the 12th?
We're kicking off on the 12th of July, I think.
That's UK.
We're probably the wrong people here to promote all the nitty-gritty details. We just turn up and do the show. No, I'm joking. So the Abundance Team it all started off as my team, who I had helped launch my product. Now, I actually feel a bit uncomfortable doing this because this is my show, but I'm supposed to be talking about you, but I guess you are part of this project. And when I launched my program, Tapping into Abundance, a few months ago, and John, Helene, Lisa and Inga were all part of my team. And we kind of thought afterwards, I can't even remember how this conversation came about, but that actually maybe us as a group could help other people with their businesses, help launch that, have a whole team of people to help them launch. So you would be helping with the whole live streaming and kind of small business and just the big bird's eye overview. I would help with the tapping and the mindset and overcoming the fears and belief. Then we've got Lisa, who's an amazing community manager and copywriter. And I'll let you describe the other two.
Oh, Inga is our Facebook legend in ads, and she kicks butt. I mean, she gets things done. She's like, I reckon, yeah, she's
like our team coordinator, isn't she?
Yeah. We're all sitting there like, and then Inga says, "No, do this," and we go, "Okay, yes," and off we go. And of course, Helene's doing my websites, and if you look at them, Chocolate Johnny's, it's just transformed into something so amazing, and she's done work for you and for all of us. And so Helene's
she's our tech goddess.
She's our tech goddess, but not only just the website, just her knowledge in the tech side, it's phenomenal. So yeah, I'm really. And where did we all start? It started through live streaming, through collaborating, through communicating, and building a community up. And we're like, all of a sudden, we're going to provide a service to help these small businesses grow to something massive.
Yeah. So we're starting off with a show just like this, and it's going to be, I think, a bi-weekly TV show, fortnightly week show, starting on the 12th of July, and it's going to be on our page. I think it's called the A-Team Online. So go and check out our brand new Facebook page, the A-Team Online, and we will be broadcasting our first show there. So there's more to come from the A-Team Online. It's very early days, but we have a big vision for the A-Team Online.
Very big vision.
Yes.
A big vision on Big Vision TV.
Yeah. and big visions, you know, like I know it's a and James Wedmore used this on the call recently about how an apple pip, you know, you plant that in the ground, in, you know, a year you have an apple tree. Within the apple tree bears fruit and more apples come along, and before you know it, you've got an orchard. Then somebody said, and then it's time for the apple pie as well.
I was on that call.
Yeah,
and I was like, because you start picking the apples. And
big things start off as tiny seeds is basically what I'm trying to say. So this is very early for the A-Team Online, and we're excited about the future of it and where it could go. So first things first, go and check out our Facebook page and meet the A-Team.
Mel, the Oompa Loompas are just asking a question. They want to know where Bitsy is.
She is, don't say her name too loud. She's fast asleep. She's actually snoring right now.
I can't believe it. Like,
she didn't interrupt. She didn't dare interrupt Chocolate Johnny.
I was just waiting for that.
No, she's not here. So firstly, go check out John, and the link is in the comments there. Lisa has put that down below. Live streaming for success. So, you know, I think this is an amazing opportunity to get on board John's program while it's in its early stages, and the help he can give you is just phenomenal. You will not come across a bigger hearted, more generous person who'll give up, you know, he'll probably go above and beyond to help you make your business a success. And secondly, come and check out the A-Team Online. And so anything else you would like to add, Johnny? Just, you know, some words of wisdom for anyone who's still kind of, you know, I want to, but I'm a little bit scared.
Okay, you want to live stream, but you're still a little bit scared. Well, I always, like I said to you before, push the start broadcast button. And if you're at that point where you're holding that camera and you're about to push it, and you go, I don't want to show my face, my eyebrows or my bald head, or I didn't color my hair, or I'm just not handsome enough. Well, I tell people to push the button so it reverses the camera. So go outside before you push the button and have a look in your neighborhood. If you've lived there for a while or a little while, you know the area. That's a great practice to push it. Invite maybe your friends to watch it and just walk along and describe where you are. And then ask people to make a comment. Say, hi, everyone. It's, you know, Susie here, and I'm walking in my street in, you know, in Thailand, and this is where the local noodle guy is, and then ask them questions. Ask them to ask you questions. That gets engagement going. That gets your brain not to think about what you're doing, but then looking and talking to people. And then they feel more comfortable. They're like, oh, wow, this Susan's really nice. She's in Thailand eating noodles with her family. So turn the camera away from yourself to start off. Cover the numbers where it says how, you know, that's the other thing I do a lot. So I get a bit of blue tack. I don't know what you guys call it in the UK.
Blue tack. Wasn't that funny?
I know, but the funny thing is that every time I speak to someone in America, I say, hey guys, we use a bit of blue tack, and they're like, what did you say, Chocolate Johnny? I said, blue tack. Well, you know, this stuff that you stick the poster with, and it's called something else. So I'm thinking, Mel's going to tell me.
No, we call it blue tack as well, and it's blue.
Yeah, I know, and I'm like, I'm waiting for you to tell me something totally different. I'm like, oh, okay, and I don't know. Anyway. I don't know why we're laughing or why it's so funny, but I can guarantee everyone's laughing and thinking, God, these guys are laughing at
About blue
bloody
tack.
blue.
Okay. You had a point
Anyway,
about the blue tack, didn't you?
yeah, I just put it over my phone when I've got the numbers.
Yeah.
When I see the number, I just stick it there.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't see that I've got 1 million people watching me. And
some
that
people get
gives,
disheartened, don't they? That I've only got 3 people watching me, so therefore,
hang on. Remember, sorry to interrupt you. So
yeah.
remember the days where you would be on Periscope and you'd have 50 people, and then all of a sudden it'd drop to 30 people, and then 25 people, and you're like, hang on a moment, what's going on?
Because then you start telling stories in your head that nobody wants to hear what I have to say, or I must be boring, or whatever. But
all the insecurities come out, and that's where Mel steps in to do the tapping. But I use the blue tack first. All right.
Who needs tapping when you got blue tack?
Yeah. Here we go. Here's some blue tack, and then when that doesn't work, ring Mel up and she'll tap you through it.
I never knew that there were so many therapeutic qualities of blue tack.
Oh, what a classic.
Yeah, and it is a psychological thing, but do you know what? I think for some people, live streaming would just come naturally. And I think maybe you and I take that for granted, that you go on, just press it. But for some people, it genuinely, do you know what? I just can't do this. I cannot do this. So for those people, I would recommend go check out Johnny's course. Let him guide you through it. Let him kind of help build up that confidence and get you started, because I think there's another world out there once you just get brave enough to get going.
Okay, so here we'll go. We'll segue into one of my bonus modules, and I've got an amazing module, and this person teaches you how to take the fear out of live streaming. And by the way, her name is Melanie Bundock, and she goes through the mindset of an online live streamer to show you that take the fear out of it, and we'll tap through it. Are we going to tap through module whatever, the bonus module with Mel Bundock?
Yeah, I am a bonus module, but that's not the reason to buy the course.
Yes, it is. You're worth thousands of dollars, so
you're very kind, thank you. So I think the key message is have a big vision for your business, utilize social media, and just go for it, and get this guy to help you.
Okay, let me ask you this question. If you have a big vision and you're stuck, what would you suggest to someone? If I said to you, I've got a big vision on something in my business, what would you suggest to them?
Well, I'd
help me say,
I'd go through
I'm asking
process.
because I'd love to tell people the same thing.
Usually there's some kind of story you're telling yourself as to why you can't do this. And it usually goes back to one of, I think there's just a handful of core beliefs. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. Fear of failure. They're the biggies. And then I'd ask you, kind of at what times in your life when did this story start? And we all have this to a certain extent, fear of what other people think. That is a huge one. Fear of being judged and criticized. When were you judged and criticized? I'd kind of get people to trace that story back to the first time they experienced that. And sometimes, depending on the level of trauma or the big attachment to that story, it could be a round of tapping or something, but it's just kind of exposing that story for what it is. And usually these things happen in childhood or adolescence, which then kind of just stay with us and remain that story in our head. So for me, I'm all about helping people, right, let's let go of that old story. Let's tell ourselves a new story. And the moment you start telling yourself a new story, what do you want? We did this process before, you got on stage at Social Media Marketing World. There was just that, it was just a tiny little thing you needed to let go of. And once you let go of that, you got the call within 3 weeks. It's amazing what happens when you let go of your old stories and those fears and the things that keep you stuck.
I love that part where you say, get rid of your old stories and create the new ones.
Yeah, because anyone can rewrite their story at any time. And, you know, if you think of your life as, you know, the next chapters are still to be written, you know, it's up to you. What do you want to write in those chapters? What do you want your new story to look like? Where's the journey going? It's up to you.
Perfect.
So that leads a perfect way to end this. So Johnny, what's your big vision now?
My big vision.
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
next,
I've got a couple of things. What's next? Of course, I want to become a real big influence in the online. I want to become a true digital CEO, and you know, I'd love to create a mastermind eventually, helping people with, you know, just getting them back on track. I want to buy a cocoa farm now. I think deep down, I've always wanted to own a cocoa farm. But there's a few places I'm looking at. They're quite cheap at the moment. So, yeah, let's have a look at that. And also, I want to really expand Perfection Chocolates. And Mel, it's funny you should say that, because when I did a Periscope once and I said, what would you prefer? Or I think I did it on Instagram. Would you prefer Chocolate Johnny's chocolates or Perfection chocolates? And 90% have said we would love to see Chocolate Johnny's stores in the USA.
Wow.
I was like, what am my poor dad, my poor mum.
But it's just an evolution, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
anyway,
yeah, I love it. So exciting things to come from Chocolate Johnny. Can't wait to see how this all unfolds for you. Thank you so much for bringing your virus of happiness to my show. And seriously, do go on your blue tack. Seriously, do go and check out Johnny's course. And if you've got any kind of business, bricks and mortar, small business, and you need a bit of help in getting your live stream game going, then seriously, go check him out. There we go. You can see now. Okay, thanks so much, Johnny.
Thanks, Mel.
And join us next week for the launch of the A-Team Online. Exciting.
Thanks,
Bye, everyone. Take care.
See you later.
Bye for now.